Good afternoon. Seems like we've been off for a month, and it's been a week. So we were playing pretty good basketball. Now we've had a week off. We've tried to improve in a few areas, and now we're in a stretch where we play Wednesday, Friday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. So it's a player's dream. Short practices and a lot of games. So we'll see how we respond to that. And I know our guys are excited to get back on the floor in a great environment tomorrow night, and we'll see if we can make a step forward.
What did the BYU win mean emotionally?
BYU was a great win because it was on the road and hostile environment, and we found a way to hang in there after we gave up a lead. They went on a huge run, and the guys just had you don't know until you get there. You know, Lee, it's you can watch practice, but nothing emulates being on the road in that environment and seeing if you can make important plays with the game on the line. And we made important plays with the game on the line. So it's definitely great to see from a coaching standpoint and to see the resolve of this team.
Coach, do you look at the USD game as a rivalry?
You know, it's a cross-town game, and so emotions are high, but I wouldn't go as far as to say it's a rivalry game. I'd say Utah State's a rivalry, UNLV's a rivalry. Those are conference games that we're going to have to win a title. New Mexico, Boise, those are the ones. And this is a challenging game because we all know what it is. It's a building that sits empty most of the year other than when the Zags and the Aztecs come to town. And so we know what the environment's going to be when we're in there. So it'll be a great environment and a great college basketball environment for us to play in.
Ask players this: they lose 4 starters, so you're preparing for a team of new faces, yet they run a lot of the same stuff. How do you sort of balance that with a new personnel versus the old system?
You know, with a week off, I've had a chance to watch every game they've played. And so obviously they were more dangerous last year because with their experience, they could have guys play multiple positions. You know, right now Sam's done a good job of running what he runs, but he can't slide a guard into the high post right now and run the same offense like they did last year. They could play multiple positions, and so we had to prepare to guard from multiple positions. This year they run the same stuff, but each guy usually plays more of a role within it. And so he'll get them playing multiple positions as the games go on this year, but right now they're not as versatile probably as last year's team, even though they're very talented.
So you don't go in there a little bit cocky, right?
No, not after losing last year, obviously. And, I mean, we want a game like this. You know, we want to play in an environment where it puts us to the test. And obviously we know it's a long year, so this is just the next game in line to see how we respond. And an environment's going to be good and raucous and to see if we can maintain our poise and play the right way in that type of environment. And it's the next step on the trail.
Coach, how much did you look at that overtime thing against Fresno State this week off, seeing what they did against the Northwest team?
Yeah, obviously, the thing I noticed more about Fresno is the building was empty, and when we go in there, I know it's going to be the case. And so I'd rather play in a full environment. No one wants to play in an empty gym. So I welcome that to see how we respond to that type of environment. And obviously, Justin's a very good coach, but Justin is kind of like we were last year at that time. He's got a lot of freshmen and sophomores he's relying on, and so Fresno's best basketball is ahead of it. I know they didn't play a particularly great game, even though they put themselves in a position to win late.
Ron, what's it like to take as many new components as you've had this year, especially 3 guards who kind of run the show, and mold the whole thing and make it come together? Systems are so different from where these kids came from. Or is, as I asked Mitchell, is basketball basketball?
That's an excellent point, Lee. Basketball is basketball. You know, everyone's running ball screens. Everybody's running the same spacing. You know, maybe there's different ways to get into it, movement to get into that ball screen or get into that drive and kick. So at some level, they've played a lot of college basketball. So they're used to playing in space. They're used to playing off ball screens. The key to it is playing with each other, to play to each other's strengths, to be able to sacrifice part of your game for the good of the team. And that's obviously the most rewarding part so far is to watch our last game when we scored 35 baskets, 25 of them were assisted. So they're playing together. And I told him, I'm not going to obsess about the offense right now. You know, I want them to play the right way and share the game, but I'm trying to set a tone where we're defending and rebounding, because that will set the tone for our entire season. Because there are going to be nights when shots aren't falling, even though we have a talented offensive team. So we have to be able to rely on our defense and rebound. And like I said, it's easy to roll out of my mouth, but it's whether I can get the team to buy into that mindset. And we will find out as we play all these games in a short period of time if we're continuing to improve defensively.
Is it tougher to get them to play Aztec defense versus Brian Dutcher offense?
I think it's harder to get them to play defense when they're so good offensively, when they're scoring points at a high rate, and as much as a coach can say it, they just believe they're going to score enough points to win. So I have to make sure that their mindset is it's not going to be that way all the time. We're going to run into struggles, and where the ball's not going in, and we have to have something to hang our hats on, and that's going to be our defense and our rebounding. So our rebounding, we've out-rebounded every opponent so far, which I like. Our opponent's shooting percentage is down. Our ranking is way higher than it was a year ago at this time. And so I think we're making steps in that direction, but I want to see it all the time as a coach. Practice, games, I want to see a defensive mindset. And so hopefully we are trending in that direction.
You mentioned earlier you're playing your first game of the week and then you're going to play in 5 and 10 days. Was that by design? Give yourself a bit of a break here and breather after the first 3 games, or that's just the way it is?
I think we'd like a game this week, but we couldn't find the right opponent at the right time to come in here. So now we have a lot of games in a short period of time, and we're going to have to see how good we are mentally, because physically we can't be on the floor for 2.5 hours getting ready for an opponent. We have to walk through for an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes, say this is the game plan, can you follow it? Because at some point coaches can cost a team a game by wearing them out in practice, trying to get everything in practice. You practice 3 hours and you go play the next day and you have no legs. So this team has to now show that they can watch film and on a short prep get ready for a game.
How much does this series with USD matter, or does it matter at all? I mean, should it continue forever?
We're in the process of trying to make that decision. And, we're waiting to see if our conference goes to 20 games. That won't be determined for some point in the future. If that happens, it cuts 2 non-conference games, and we're trying to decide if we want to play UCSD. I don't know if we want to play USD and UCSD in the same year. UCSD is making the move to Division I. And we have to bring games in here that the fans want to see. We have to continue to try to get Power 5 schools to come in here and play us in a home and home. If we can get a home and home with USC as opposed to USD, I think the fans would say play USC. And so there's a lot that goes into it, and it's never perfect, but we're out there making the phone calls and trying to piece together a schedule, and sometimes it takes time to make that decision, and we're going through our due diligence on that.
Is it hard to get UCLA to come back here? They were here a long time ago. But
Yeah, UCLA, Lee, now, they won't play. Their longstanding tradition or policy is they're not going to play a team from California on the road, other than the Pac-12 team where they have to. They don't travel to any team in California. So USD, Pepperdine, San Diego State, it doesn't matter. They won't play a road game. And so they've been able to do that because people will go play them there without a return game on a guarantee. So we got them one time at the Honda Center, which was great, and it was like a home game. We had so many Aztec fans in the building, I think they were shocked by it. So most of the other Pac-12 teams will travel in here to play and have been in here, whether it's Washington or USC or Arizona State. They've come here in the past, so we have to continue to pursue them as they go to a 20-game schedule to see if we can get one of their non-conference games in a home and home with them.